Hey, welcome back. So yesterday when we were rebuilding these rear uprights, we noticed that the rear lower arms had a lot of play in it. There's probably even a millimeter of slop here on both sides. So we're gonna address that today. And so let's get started. I think the rear arms, or lower arms, are held up by two screws back here. Let me see, I'll flip that over and show you. There you go. And the bumper, and there might be these through screws here as well. First, let me take these two out and see what happens. Oops. Alrighty. Gonna have to take these three out as well. Okay, let's see, that came right off. And here's the block. I'm just checking for wear and tear. It's not too bad. So here are the rear arms, lower arms. And while I'm here, I'm just going to clean this all up and kind of clean up all this gunk as well on both sides, and just in general clean all this up. So be right back. All right, we're back. So I went ahead and cleaned out the chassis, the arms, any dirt or grime that I saw on any of the parts. I just cleaned it off. In my last video, I mentioned that I thought I had flipped the rear blocks, the rear uprights where I had a toe out situation. I think it turned out that I had flipped the rear lower arms instead, where the left was on the right and the right was on the left. And so I'm going to correct that today. And I went ahead and put two shims on each of the rear arm here ahead of time, because I tried to do it on camera, but it was just really difficult, and there's no reason. It's just super tight, and there's no reason you guys have to watch me struggle. So let me go ahead and put some grease there at this joint, and put that in there. Make sure the arm has good movement. And let's test out the shims that I have in here. I have a 0.1 millimeter and a 0.1 millimeter. So combined, it's 0.4 millimeter of shims. And I hope that will eliminate any of that slop that I had in there. And here's the screw that holds down the block here. Get that in. let's take a look. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but everything that was kind of sloppy about the rear is now gone on both sides. So I have very solid, and there's still a lot of movement. This side seems a little bit tighter, but I'm not too concerned. I think we'll be fine. But there's still plenty of flexibility in the arms, but now there's less movement forward and back. All right, let's put the bumper back. And believe that one, these two. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, let me find the rear tower. There we go. Nope, this is the front. This is the rear. There we go. And they still match up perfectly. So I'm not going to need to do anything to the upper arms in terms of flipping them. Apparently I built those correctly. All right, let's see if there's any slop in the upper arms. Get that closer, it's hard to see. Yep, you can see that there. And I have about the same on the opposite side. So again, let me take this apart and I'll be right back. All right, so on the upper arms, it was in a little bit better shape. I only needed 0.3 millimeter shim to take away all the slop that was on there that we saw. That's probably a little too much. Let's see. All right. I also cleaned out the whole area just like I did with the lower arms and the chassis. All right, let me just spread that around a little bit. Probably more than enough. And put that back in there. And just put these two screws back on. All right, that was easy. So there we go. They still line up very well. And so there are two screws on the bottom of the bumper plate, the bumper holder that I need to put back first. Then I will put the uprights back in and close it all up. Yikes. Okay. Good to go. And all I need is a pin here. Let's see. There's a little bit of slop there, but I'll deal with that. For the uprights and the wheel X, I want to put everything back together first before I take it back apart and address any slop that we have. All right. There you go. I'll put the diff back in a little bit later. I just want to see what we're dealing with. Okay. These can be adjusted. Alrighty. This is the rear diff, and it goes this way. But you notice I don't have the, put it back here. I'm probably gonna have to take it apart again, but it's not a big deal. Let me just put one screw in to hold it up. Dog bone in there. And put that in there. Okay, he's looking good. It's looking really good. See, there's just minimum slop here now. Like I said, after you put everything together, it may feel different. All right, here's the other dog bone. Okay. This is solid now. There is very little play anywhere. This feels like a much more expensive kit than it actually was. This needs a little bit of work, but this side feels very, very precise. That's the magic of just a few very, very thin sheets of metal. So I'm going to end the video here, and the next one, I will wrap this up. I will go around and troubleshoot any other areas where I might need to tidy up, and then we'll go from there and we'll move on to the front. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it below. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can catch the next one. Thanks for watching.